Hello, it's Doug from Behind Closed Doors, and today I'm making a video on the difference between the way Jordan Peterson and his daughter Mikhaila Peterson have behaved and acted towards marriage. Jordan has been married for many years, and Mikhaila recently divorced after being married for a short while. One of the reasons that he stated publicly is that marriage is really for children, and I agree with him on that.
And I really do think that it's the sign of the degeneration of a society when single parenthood becomes anything approximating the norm. It's not a good idea. And part of the reason I believe that, and I think this has to do with the overwhelming selfishness of modern life, is that marriage isn't for the people who are married. It's for the children, obviously. And if you can't handle that, grow the hell up. Seriously. Yeah, okay. Seriously.
And Mikhaila seems to think it's about personal happiness.
Part of the reason it took a while is because I wanted to be absolutely sure that breaking up the family was better for everyone and not just for me.
Mm-hmm. Is it?
Yes, 100%. Everybody is happier.
It's not good for the kids, not by any stretch of the imagination. The idea that you can be divorced once you have children, that's kind of a stupid idea, because you can't.
I would have changed the decision to get married because I wasn't in a good relationship.
This is built into marital vows. I'm not leaving, ever, no matter what. It's okay, well, that definitely puts a boundary around our arguments, right? Because I can't say every time you manifest one of your flaws, which you're likely to do just as often as me, well, enough of this. It's that's horrible, man. If your whole life is, well, every time you get out of line, I'm out of here. It's how the hell are you? First of all, you're not going to admit to ever doing anything wrong.
I shouldn't have gotten married to someone I wasn't supposed to be with, that wasn't a good match, because that wasn't good for anybody. Mm-hmm. That was the mistake. It's
people say, well, if the possibility of divorce is open, it makes you free. It's yeah, that's what you want. You want to be free, eh? Really? Really? So you can't predict anything. That's what you're after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my position's changed. My position hasn't changed that a two-parent family is healthier for a kid, but a two-parent family that's fighting all the time isn't healthier than being separated and not being filled in a house that's full of resentment and anger.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you're trouble. Me too. So we won't leave, no matter what happens. Well, that's a hell of a vow, but that's why it's a vow, right? That's why you take it in front of a bunch of people. That's why it's supposed to be a sacred act. It's what's the alternative? What's the alternative? Everything is mutable and changeable at any moment. Well, go ahead. You live your life like that and see what you're like when you're 50. Jesus, it's dismal. 2 or 3 divorces, your family's fragmented, you've got no continuity of narrative.
No,
that was not a good place to be. And what I ended up deciding, and it wasn't actually this year when we decided to get divorced. We decided to get divorced in 2018.
If you have kids and you try to get divorced, the probability that that's going to demolish your life is very, very high. Your market value has declined. Let's say you're the woman who takes the kids. Your market value has declined radically. You're going to be poorer. The man, he's just as screwed because he is now an indentured servant and there's no escape from it.
And then what happened was we were living separately and my parents got really sick. Mm-hmm. And Andre ended up, and I know that this can come across as using him, saw that I was in really rough shape from all the stress. He started helping. We ended up going to Russia and we ended up getting back together. But for the next year and a half, we just did primary care for my dad. So that's the background there.
So Andre was instrumental in getting him into Russia and into...
We wouldn't have been able to get him into Russia without Andre because he had a Russian passport.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't just that. He was with me helping take care of my dad, and I was, yeah. And so he was instrumental there. So people are online were like, why aren't you? And even my dad, why aren't you with someone who's like a good dad. He's helping your family. And I don't really want to get, like, I don't want to get into the negatives because
it's not so bad if you can negotiate a peaceful separation, and some people can, but lots of times if you have a terrible relationship, it's not like negotiating a peaceful separation is all that easy. But if you're at each other's throats, good luck to you. I think it's roughly equivalent to having non-fatal cancer.
I don't think it's appropriate, but we fought all the time in ways that I couldn't negotiate. And I don't think I'm an unreasonable person.
Mm-hmm.
And so the stress in our household was really bad.
And so it's a form of voluntary enslavement, I suppose, but it's also equivalent to the adoption of a responsibility. And there's more to it than that. If you can't run away, then you can solve your problems. Because it might be, okay, well, I'm stuck with you. So how about we fix things? They don't want to talk about it. And so as soon as you bring it up, they get mad. And then you bring it up again, they even get madder, and they tell you that they're not going to talk about that or they're going to leave. You have to know, we better sort this out or we're going to be carrying it around for the next 40 years. That maybe is enough motivation so you'll actually try hard to solve a problem. It's a lot easier to say, well, sorry, we're not going there. But then, good, you'll have it every day, every goddamn day for the rest of your life.
Like
I said, I wouldn't go back. What I would have changed is I shouldn't have gotten married because that caused a whole bunch of problems, and that was the issue.
Because the alternative is we're going to be in a boxing match for the next 40 years. That's the alternative. So, and you think you're going to fix problems without something like that hanging over your head? There isn't a chance. You'll just avoid them because that's what people do. It's really hard to solve problems, especially in a relationship.
Do you think you should have had the kid out of wedlock then? Because in the Tom, the reason I asked,
well, see, this is
the Tom Bilyeu interview, and you were saying you didn't want to be an unmarried mother.
No, I didn't. And that's the problem I had when I was 23. It was like, okay, I have an unplanned pregnancy, and the most stable way to raise a child is in a family with a man and a woman.
And you know, you bring kids into a step-parent family, they do not do as well. Step-parents are not as good parents as biological parents, and the data on that is clear. It's not that easy to care for children. You need everything you can binding you to them. And if they're someone else's children, mostly they get in the way of the person that you love. Right?
Agreed.
And so bite the bullet, get married, and figure out how to make it work and negotiate until you have a proper relationship. Mm-hmm. And so that was my thinking when I was 23. And I wasn't able to negotiate that relationship.
And the rate of abuse for kids in step-parent families is way higher than it is in biological families. There's not even any comparison.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know him personally, but it seems by all, let's just say, impressions that Andre is pretty good with your daughter. Andre's
very good with my daughter.
Very, I mean, you have to understand the impression that I have and pretty much everybody else has when we're seeing nothing but Instagram shots of Andre with the kid and you off doing what with the Tates, first of all, and then second of all, doing what you're doing right now. Is there something else like that people don't know that he's not as good as the impressions are?
I'm certainly not gonna say anything negative about Andre, like ever, period.
That's okay.
So that's just bottom line.
I mean, I have seen interviews of you. Well, I think it was you and your mother or something like that, talking about how, building a relationship and building that marriage. Do you think that wasn't possible with Andre?
No, it wasn't possible.
Okay. Was because
I really believe in marriage, which is probably why I would never get married. Because the majority of people that initiate divorces are women. Because the majority of people that benefit from divorces are women. I've done a few videos on the family court on this channel, some of which have been taken down. And my opinion of the family court is that I believe it's an extension of radical feminism to destroy the family home for economic profit. And the family court is absurdly sexist to the point of child abuse. If the family court believed in shared parenting, it would put a bill in stating the presumption of shared parenting.
It is not pleasant. It's a 10-year process, 15-year process. It'll cost you $250,000, and it'll tear a big chunk out of your life. And also, it will really disrupt your relationship with your kids.
I've thought about this for a long time, and the best thing that I can come up with, because many people struggle to stay married, is to redesign marriage to some extent to cater for the needs of children. My idea is that when you have a baby with somebody, you're obligated to take care of them till, say, 18. And the breakdown of any sexual relationship as a result of marriage and stuff shouldn't have anything to do with the breakdown of parental relationship. There should be like a marriage based on parental relationship, so whether you have sex or not. So let me know what you think. Have you been married? Would you get married? Have you been divorced? If so, would you get remarried? Comment below, let me know your thoughts and feelings on marriage. I'll be interested to read your comments. Hello, my name is Doug, and I've created a video tutorial called What to Message a Girl for Online Dating Success. The reason why I've created this product is to help those men out there who are dating online but are not getting the replies or getting the dates that they desire. My product will teach you what to message a girl, what not to message a girl, when to message a girl, how to respond when you're not sure what to write, what to do if she doesn't reply, how to get her phone number, and how to communicate to get online dating success. If you're getting matches and no success, this product is for you. It's what you need to do today to start getting success with your matches. I'll also be talking about other issues such as how to spot red flags, identify time wasters, to stay out the friend zone, how to deal with ghosting, simmering and icing. Not only will I be giving you exactly what you need, copy and paste, I'll also be explaining to you the reason why I'm writing what I'm writing so you can understand the psychology and know what behaviours to look out for and which ones to avoid. This product is packed with value. I've tried to cram as much as I can into a short amount of time as possible while being the most informative. If you're a man and you're confused and frustrated with what to text with online dating, this product is the solution for you to get more dates in less time. Click the link in the description box below to buy the product and change your dating life forever.